welcome to the AutoInTouch video tutorial sessions episode 3. In this episode we will go into more detail on creating a document, creating a job card and converting it to invoice. In episode 1 we created 2 diary entries, one for an MOT, which we completed in episode 2. In this episode we will create the job card for the service and run through the sections. So this is our document, currently set with just a major service required. What we will do is we go to Add, and Add will give us the invoice builder. And we will run through each of these sections. So your top section is the line type, as in what do you want on your invoice? Do you want labour? Do you want a product? Do you want a service? Or do you want free text? And the right hand section is where do you want it to appear on the invoice. You want work required, work carried out, parts used or advisories. And this will determine where on the invoice which order the lines that you're entering will display. Each one of these product screens or line type screens will have a different set of menus, but it's always best advised run from the top to the bottom, filling in all your boxes that are relevant. As this is a major service, we're going to go to, in the line type, we're going to select service. We're going to select the section of work carried out. We're going to select the mechanic and select the service in question. For this one, we will use carry out full service. This has a default of £130 and select OK. That then loads in the carry out full service line into our document. We can then add the labour charge for the service. So again, we select the product, we select labour, select your labour code that's relevant, and again the mechanic who's doing the work. Your product group, stock group, VAT rate, department are preset. In your comments box you can add information about the line you're adding. In the values you select how many hours, and the unit price of labour should be preset. And click OK. That loads the labour directly in underneath the service. We now want to add some parts that are used on the service. We go to product. Your section of parts used should now be pre-selected, and we can search for the products. So we can either put the description of the product in and search, and that will give us an option of list, or if you know the product code, enter the product code directly. In this case we'll add an oil filter. Again, these should be pre-selected, as should the values and the pricing. That then, as you can see behind, adds into parts used an oil filter. If you know the product code for what you're adding, oil, you can type in the code, press enter, and it will load that product straight in for you. And again, press OK. Should we want to add an advisory, we can go to text, we can in section select advisories and enter any free text you wish to inform your customer of something they might need to know in the future. In this case we will say brake discs show wear, and we can click OK. Once we're finished adding lines to the document, click Cancel to close the invoice builder, and we can check out to make sure that everything is in the right place. In this scenario, major service probably not now required, so we can highlight the line and remove it. And that will take it from your invoice. Should you want the order to change, you can click onto the line and drag to move. showing that again. If we want the oil to be below the oil filter, we can click on the line, drag down to the oil filter line, and it will move it below. At this stage, if you want to add any further parts, you can again go back to add and replay some of the processes we have already gone through by selecting more products or any further text. And again, cancel that one just to finish. Should you wish to save this job card to then add more to it at a later point, we click update on the bottom here. Or if you're ready to invoice it from here, we change job card to invoice and we click print. Print will prompt us to update and print the document. Click yes and enter the mileage. Click OK when you're done, and that then prints your invoice.